Why did Bitcoin suddenly experience a sharp drop? If you're interested in knowing more about this, please keep watching. Let's first take a look at the long position I opened on Bybit. On Bybit, I entered a long position with a value of approximately $750,000 US. The entry price was around $28,500 US. Now, let's examine the profit. Today, Bitcoin reached a high point of over $31,000 US. And the profit at that time was quite substantial. However, within a short period of time, it dropped by over $1,000 US, which is a significant decrease. Let's check out the profit. Currently, I still have a profit of over 1.3 million in Taiwanese dollars, which is more than $42,000 US. We have to deduct some funding fees. It's all right. Now, the most important question is whether Bitcoin will continue to decline. If it does, should I close this long position and realize my profits? On the other hand, if it continues to rise, even forming another bullish trend, then we could consider adding to the position or continuing to hold the long position. Let's take a look at the situation with Bitcoin. If you're also interested in trading, I welcome you to click any video below, where you'll find a link to Bybit. Simply complete KYC verification and deposit $100 US, and you'll immediately receive $1,000 US in Bitcoin contract positions, which is a very generous offer. These contract positions are real, and you can directly withdraw your earnings. Now, let's get back to analyzing the Bitcoin market. First, let's start with the daily chart. From the daily chart, we can see that it is currently at a level of S/a reversal, where the price encountered resistance earlier, and now it is acting as support. Now, let's view a smaller time frame chart. If we look at the 4-hour chart, we can see that Bitcoin is currently in an oscillating range, and the boundaries of this box pattern are quite clear. The lower boundary has been hit multiple times. To be more objective, let's avoid using terms like green or red, and instead we use a white box. You can observe that the boundaries of this range are quite clear. We have had several perfect touch points on the lower boundary, while the upper boundary has been hit 4 times in a row without being breached. What does this situation indicate? This box pattern is quite critical. If, during a breakout, we have a candlestick closing above the white box, then I would consider it a breakthrough. After all, the price has moved outside this range, but it's not the closing price. The next candlestick has returned to the range. No candlestick closed outside the box pattern. If this scenario occurs, with a candlestick closing outside the box, we can have greater confidence that it has truly chosen a direction, either breaking or surpassing. In the current situation, I would consider it relatively healthy. Of course, this recent decline was due to news regarding the spot ETF, which encountered some issues and caused a sudden drop of $1,000 US. The drop, in both magnitude and speed, is quite alarming. This serves as a reminder that trading contracts carry significant risks. Although the potential profits are substantial, it carries high risk. Therefore, if you engage in trading, it's essential to set stop-loss orders and implement various protective measures. Now, let's take a look. This is an upward movement we had earlier. You can see that after an upward trend, the market entered a sideways phase, particularly a narrow sideways range. Typically, continuation patterns have 2 scenarios to continue the previous trend smoothly. The first scenario is when there is a narrow range oscillation. The second scenario is a rapid breakdown, followed by an immediate recovery. These 2 scenarios are most favorable for a continued upward trend. Let's take a look. In the past, we have seen several examples of these cases. For instance, during a previous instance, there was a decline followed by a narrow range oscillation. Additionally, there was a similar situation after an upward move. It's important to note that there should not be significant bearish volume during these narrow range oscillations. Typically, in such cases, the upward trend continues. There are many examples. For instance, if we switch it to the daily chart, we can observe scenarios like the one depicted here. There is an initial downward movement, followed by a period of narrow range consolidation. Afterward, the price resumes its downward movement. In cases like this, the period of narrow range consolidation is often considered a continuation pattern. If we encounter such a scenario before the price resumes its downward movement, we would anticipate a higher likelihood of continuation. Another possibility is a quick retracement, where the price swiftly tests lower levels and immediately climbs back. like the example shown here. After it dropped, it closed with a long lower shadow. This scenario is most favorable for the bulls and suggests a continuation of the trend. This can be interpreted as intentional manipulation of the futures market. For example, if there are many long positions, it is unlikely that the crypto whales will let most participants, if not all, hold those positions during an upward trend. Therefore, they may initiate such moves. Well, the narrow range oscillation discussed earlier. What's it for? It is related to changing hands. Why was the drop not smooth? It could have gone deeper. However, many short positions were closed during the drop. So, a new batch of participants needs to enter the market for the decline to continue smoothly. So, in fact, this kind of narrow range oscillation is for chip exchange. During a rapid downward move like this, it's to shake off futures traders. Now, let's analyze the current situation. Now, the boundaries of the range are quite clear. Let's interpret the recent market movement. The volume of the candlestick in question is significant. It's extraordinary. Why is that so? As you can see, this is a 4-hour chart. It appears that the candlestick closed around midnight in the GMT plus 8 time zone. So it's from 8 p.m. to 12 a.m. These 4 hours. It is currently 10 p.m. in our time zone, which means the current candlestick represents only half of that time. However, it has already accumulated a significant volume. This leads us to imagine the extent to which the volume could accumulate during the remaining 2 hours until midnight. As you can see, if the volume is indeed very high, it could pose a threat to the ongoing upward trend. However, looking at the current situation, it has a long lower shadow forming at the bottom here, holding at a crucial support level. You can see that this level has supported the prices several times. If the support level here holds, even with a significant volume surge, we can still expect some consolidation at this level. After all, this is a short-term impact from the news. However, if after the volume surge, we see a candlestick closing below this box, or a complete candlestick closing below it in the following 4 hours, we need to exercise utmost caution. In such a situation, I would close my long positions and exit the market directly. Alright. Now, let's take a look at the US stock market. When the sharp drop occurred earlier, my first concern was the US stock market. Did it decline? No, it was still reaching new highs, surpassing the previous high of this upward move. So it's definitely not an issue with the US stock market, but rather with Bitcoin. Later, upon investigation, I discovered that there was news in the US about some issues arising with the Bitcoin spot ETF application. Therefore, we need to carefully observe whether it breaks out of this range at the current level. If it does, the risks for this upward trend may increase. Additionally, you can see that the volume here is quite significant, indicating heightened market activity. Alright, thank you. You're welcome to like and share my videos and subscribe to my channel. Turn on the little bell button to show me your greatest support. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.